This video explains how to use a new CAD named Simly to design bespoke block patterns which will be used to create new models. First of all, we have to create our measurement file, new, centimeter individual, add. We will select the type of the body measurements which are necessary to design our block pattern. In this case, for a skirt, we have selected the height and write the value. Then we will select the waist and write the value. Then we will select the hip and write the value. And after that, we will select Add Custom to add new measurements, in this case the product measurements. Declare the symbol and write the value and declare the full name. So we will do and insert all needed measurements. And after that, we will use these measurements to write formula which will be used to declare or design the main lines of our block pattern. We have calculated the distance from the waist to the hip. We calculate the total adjustment on the waistline, and then we will calculate how much will be distributed in the darts and on lateral seam. We introduce the values of our allowances on the hip, 1 centimeter, then on the waist, 0.5. In any time we can change the needed values to adapt the pattern, the block pattern, to the shape of our customer. We will write the formula using the input data. Use the total distance for on the hip line, and we will calculate, as you can see, the total adjustment on the waistline using the total dimension from the hip related to the waist. This is the formula which is written. We will define the parameter, and then the value of this parameter will be distributed in the front dart as the depth of the front dart. .2, okay, from the total front dart. We'll do the same for the back dart and for lateral seam, adjustment for lateral seam. And after that, we have to establish now or later, no matter what, the length of the front dart and the back dart. In the end, we have to save our file because this file will be connected directly to our design scenario. Here we will calculate the total adjustment on the side seam. We will define the total adjustment on the side seam. Introduce the length of the front dart Then we'll introduce the length for the back dart. The value and define. Now we'll save this file in our needed folder, and this file will be connected with the following, in which we design the block pattern. Now we will select Simly 2D, declare a new session, name our session as we want, establish our units, centimeter. Okay, we have the starting point entitled A, and then we will select a second point related to the A, and we will define the position of the new point. First of all, we have to relate this file with the previous one, which have been saved in our folder. Then related point to A. We'll select F, X, and we'll select needed measurements, and we'll select waist to hip distance. We'll establish the value of our angle, apply OK. We'll change our scale to see the value. We check OK. This is the formula. So we check the formula for our total adjustment. As you can see, there is an arrow. Okay, save. Then we will connect again or start a new file. We can synchronize both files. So we'll start again, select the needed function. Okay. The value of our angle, apply, OK. And here is the second point related to the previous one. Now we'll put another point which establish the level of our hemline. Select the needed dimension. And we have to write a formula because we have to relate to the previous point. OK. Apply OK. And step by step we will introduce and establish the position of the main points for our skirt block. Now we will establish the width of our block on the hip line. We will select and write the needed formula, because first of all we will establish the total width of our block, write the value of our angle, apply OK. In the same manner we will do on the hem line, but we will use the previous line which have been already defined. Okay, and for the waist in the same manner, related to the point 1, select the function. We will select the line length, select the line, okay, write the angle value, and these are the horizontal line. Then we will connect, we will select line and connect what we have, the points, and close our network. This network will be divided between the front and the back. First of all, we will select the save and save our file. Okay. Then we will establish the position of a point on the hip line to divide this between front and back. We select the line length and write our formula. Pay attention to the starting point, which is the reference point. In the same manner, we will put on the waist and on the hip the corresponding points. We will use line length and use the previous line. And on the hem line in the same manner. Fx, we will select line length, use a previous line, apply OK. We will select line and connect the points to have the baseline of our side seam. Then we will work on the waist to establish the position of our darts and the total adjustment on the side seam. Now we are established the position of the adjustment on the side seam. We'll write our formula. Half of it, because it has to be divided between front and back. In the same manner for the front pattern with the same value. We can use line length and use the previous line, as you can see. Okay. Pay attention to the formula, the angle, apply OK. Then we will move our codes for our points. We will connect the points with straight lines. We will establish the position of the middle point of the darts. As you can see in the front pattern, we will use the length of a line. Write a formula. Pay attention to the reference point. This is the I5 point, okay. Then we will select to put the depth of our dart, the front dart. We'll move the code of our point just to see all the lines and all the points. Divide by 2, okay. We will draw a perpendicular line to establish the position of the front dart of vertex. Then we will connect the points with straight line, and this is in this way we have the front dart. In the same manner we will work to position the back dart for our block pattern. We'll have the middle point of our dart. We will select this point and establish the depth of our dart using our previous formulas. Divide by 2. Okay, in the same manner we will put the other point. Okay, function back dart, divide by 2. Okay, then we will establish the position of the vertex for this dart using the length of our dart, which was declared. Then we will connect these points with straight lines. So we have the dart in the block for the back pattern. We'll save the file. Then we will connect with curve points to draw the shape of the side. We'll draw the shape of our waistline. And then the shape of the side seam from the waist to the hip. As you can see, we are drawing curved lines and change the shape of these curves. As we already know from manual drawing method. Curve line. We'll use that tangent of the curve to change its position as it should be, to have the right shape. We change the position of the curve for the waist. Then we will try to symmetrize this curve line to have the same shape for the back pattern. Apply OK. Then we will draw the final shape of the waist in the back pattern. Curve lines and change the position of these lines using the tangent. Okay, and then we have only one more. So in this manner we have the block pattern of our skirt, which will be used to design new models. We'll save the file. And then we will extract the main patterns. Using piece. Okay. We'll see the front pattern. Then we go to the draft, piece, and piece tool. And we will follow all the instructions which are written below and select the main points of our network. Piece, and we have the front and the back patterns. Here we can see the history of our design scenario. Load or change some information from our data. As you can see, we can change, let's say, the value for the waist and the hip. Save. Okay, and the program asks if we want to synchronize both files, and as you can see, the size of our pattern were automatically changed.